chill. It's gonna be a chill stream.
My motive for doing what I am going to do
Smart.
is simply personal revenge. I do not expect to accomplish anything by it.
Lincoln, Montana, 1996. This cabin is the chosen home of Theodore J. Kaczynski, more commonly known as the Unabomber. He's long been feared as America's smartest criminal, a serial bomber who's killed and wounded targets across the country.
Oh, I think this is a guy who's like packaging bombs and sending it to people's doorstep. Like, that's scary as crap. I'm not gonna lie. Imagine you just open a box and then it just explode in your face. Like, that's crazy, bro.
With no clear connection. For 17 years, he's eluded the FBI.
I think this is him.
It's the largest, most expensive manhunt in the Bureau's history. He's the evil genius they simply can't catch. Likely history's most intellectual serial killer. He's terrorized the nation, instilling fear in Americans about opening their mail and getting on planes. And he did it all from his cabin. Here is where he built his bombs, where he wrote his manifesto, and where he evaded capture for nearly 2 decades. It's where he
This is a hunt for American smartest killers.
Turned from off-the-grid recluse to world-famous murderer. This cabin contains all the evidence the FBI will need to convict him. It's located deep in the Montana wilderness. Back in 1969, Ted moved here from California, where he left behind a shining career as a math professor at UC Berkeley. He wanted to get closer to nature and far, far away from everyone who pisses him off, which is most people. He built this cabin with his brother, back when Ted still talked to him. It's got no electricity, no plumbing, just a wood stove, a bed, and a whole lot of books. Right now, Ted is building another bomb. They're meticulously crafted, and he's continuously improving his technique. Every year, they become more lethal. In fact, he's got another one under his bed, wrapped and ready to go. But he won't get a chance to send it, because despite his intellect, he made some pretty dumb mistakes.
So is he really...
I'm being told this is Limo Emo from Liberty Mutual, who helps save you hundreds by customizing your car insurance.
So if he made some dumb decisions, he can't be that smart unless he got carried away with the stuff he did, which would most serial killers do. Like, they think they're untouchable, so they make dumb... Chat, bro, stop rating, man. You know that was not a good ad, bro. Come on, bro. W ad.
This video is largely based on these 2 books. Links are in the description.
We attribute the social and psychological problems of modern society to the fact that
Chad,
society
I wanna be
requires
mod.
people to live under conditions radically different
Yes or no? Yes
from
or
those
no?
under which the human race evolved.
Born in 1942, Ted grows up in a pretty average family in the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
They're working-class Polish Americans. His parents are politically progressive, bookish and intellectual, and really into the outdoors. They're strict but loving. At least, that's how they remember it. It becomes obvious at a young age that Ted is exceptionally gifted, so his parents push him to succeed. He skips 2 grades and easily aces every class. He's a pretty normal kid for someone with an IQ of 168. Sure, Ted is quiet, shy around girls, and arrogant, but he has a core circle of friends and plenty of hobbies.
It don't seem like
Like his parents and brother, he loves playing music, reading, and camping.
Yet.
People like Ted. They'll later remember him as a sensitive, respectful kid. All that starts to change when Ted enrolls at Harvard University at just 16 years old. Like many college freshmen, Ted struggles to adjust. Here, he no longer feels like the smartest person in every room. And as a working-class kid thrown into the world of America's elite, he's a fish out of water. Other students and even faculty mock his shabby clothes and blue-collar background. He's deeply bothered by their snobbery, pain that will follow him through life.
Bro, I can't imagine... Oh, snap. I can't imagine smart people
Ted's
making
also
fun of people's
just really
clothing.
young,
Like, I wouldn't even do that. And I'm not saying I'm dumb, but I'm not saying I'm dumb, right? But I wouldn't make fun of people's clothing. I can't imagine people going to Harvard making fun of folks' clothing. Like, really? Like, I just can't imagine it.
Younger than almost everyone else on campus.
I honestly don't know.
As an adult, Ted will write his mother furious letters about this.
Just saying.
He demands apologies for pushing him out of the house before he was ready. Ted becomes depressed, and his grades suffer. His classmates describe him as a total loner, moody, rude, and virtually mute. He's that guy on the dorm floor who only leaves his room to go to class, who ignores everyone else, who slams doors. There's a stench of rotting food wafting from his room. Ted doesn't know it yet, but his withdrawn and alienated demeanor has caught the eye of a psychology professor. Dr. Henry A. Murray is very famous, with an on-campus research center named after him. He's basically a god in the social sciences. Murray is looking out for particular types of students, those who will make excellent guinea pigs for an experiment. His final, most elaborate experiment, the capstone of a long and illustrious career. It also happens to be a CIA-funded project designed to cause extreme distress and break down the subject's sense of self.
Clearly, we are in a position to do a great deal of damage, and it does appear that the FBI is not going to catch us anytime soon. The FBI is a joke.
It's the 1970s in San Francisco. The city is a hotbed of anti-government activity. There's outrage over the Vietnam War. Protest bombings are a regular occurrence.
Like, I don't know how good they were back then. I don't know if they got better or worse. I don't know.
Explosions happen every week up to the mid-80s. The FBI dubs it the Belfast of North America.
It's crazy.
Radical far-left groups like the Weather Underground and the Symbionese Liberation Army claim credit for many of the bombings. So most of the cases are pretty straightforward in terms of understanding motive and perpetrator. But amidst all of this, the FBI's San Francisco bomb squad makes a shocking discovery. 12 mysterious, similarly built bombs can be linked to one elusive killer or group. They have next to nothing to go on. Just for whatever unknown reason, this string of explosives seems to target universities and airlines. Whoever is building these bombs is an expert crafter and careful to not leave any DNA behind. Not a hair, not a fiber. They're encased in beautiful handmade wooden boxes. There are no eyewitnesses to the bombings, and no letters from organizations claiming credit. The victims appear to be scattershot of random people. The unknown
Bro, they had cameras back in 1982. I don't think it was that good, but like, for him to be able to send bombs that much and not be caught for a while is crazy, bro. It's honestly crazy. Like, I don't think you can mail stuff anonymous.
Is referred to by the code Unibomb for university and airline bomber. So far, his bombs have killed one person and injured 20 others across 5 different states.
Morning, Pete. Coffee's on and your Uber's on its way.
You know, I've been thinking.
Unlucky recipients of the Unabomber's early packages include a campus security guard, a handful of graduate students and professors, a secretary, an airline executive, and passengers on a flight from Chicago to DC. Some are injured quite badly. The first death is in 1985, Hugh Scruton, a guy who owned a computer store in Sacramento and was about to get married. What does he have to do with anything at all? Far away in his cabin, Ted reads about his death and chuckles to himself. He hears that the FBI offers a $25,000 reward for any information. He's flattered. The Unabomber is making waves. Not bad for the actions of one man in a 10 by 12 foot shack with no electricity, running water, or phone service. Pretty hard to imagine now. These days, connection isn't optional. It's how we get around, check in, look stuff up, call for help, all of it. That's where Saley comes in. With affordable global data in over 200 destinations. Maps, a homemade chair, a cot, a typewriter, and hundreds of books. Scraps from junkyards and jars of chemicals for making his bombs. Binders and binders full of notes. All kinds of disguises for delivering the bombs, like wigs and sunglasses, and shoes with fake soles. It's crammed to the gills, but meticulously organized. At this point, the FBI has zero promising leads, and by the end of it all, they'll never actually find the perpetrator themselves. The bomber is always several steps ahead of them. They'll pursue thousands of dead ends, spend hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars, and pour countless man-hours into this case. They have no idea why he's targeting the people that he is, but the bombs are so precise, so well crafted, there's gotta be a motive, right? In 1987, there's finally a break in the case. The Unabomber plants a package outside a Salt Lake City computer.
So at the beginning of the video, they said that he wanted revenge or something like that. So I'm guessing he's getting revenge by exploding people just for them making fun of his clothing. That's a good reason, chat. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a really good reason. Is he doing this for fun or something? No, chat. Listen. He's doing it because he got made fun of and his clothing was bad. So they made fun of him and he bombed people for it. No, I'm joking. It was more than that, but it's still not a good reason to bomb someone. Like, come on, bro. Come on. I think he just wanted the attention because he lacked attention when he was younger. So maybe that was his motive. Because he was like, he's doing it for fun. But he's not doing it for, like, there's no way he's doing it for fun. It has to be a reason.
And a lady spots him. He's wearing a gray hoodie, sunglasses, and sporting a mustache. The police create a sketch and post it all around the country. The bombings immediately stop, and for 5 years, nobody hears anything from the Unabomber. All kinds of people call him with tips, but the leads go nowhere. The case pretty much goes cold, but the FBI know that it's only a matter of time before he'll strike again. They're sure he's using the time to perfect his bombs. And they're right. In his cabin, Ted is finessing his technique. The upcoming bombs will be a whole lot more lethal. But, as the world will soon find out, he is also busy writing. He doesn't just want his explosives to do the talking. He's crafting a manifesto.
I knew y'all were gonna do this. Shut up. I know, bro. I know my forehead is. It's not that big, chat. It really ain't that big. I would say we're off track right now. It's not that big, bro. It's not. You can't lie. It's a 4-head. It's not a 5. It's not a 10-head. It's a 4. No, it's actually a 3-fingered head. No. Don't even say nothing, bro. Don't even say nothing. I don't even want to hear it. Oh my gosh, you just messed up my. All right. I don't even want to hear it, bro.
One that claims to explain what the mysterious string of bombings is all about.
My head's not that big. Shut the freak. 300. Okay. All right.
The Technophiles are taking us all on an utterly reckless ride into the unknown.
Back at Harvard in 1958, the United States is experiencing huge shifts in culture. The button-up 50s are drawing to a close, and the nation becomes swept up in the space race, the civil rights movement, the sexual revolution, the environmental movement, the explosion of drug culture, and all the while, the Cold War is escalating. The American military is paranoid that
you hear all the stuff he just named, bro? Like, we're going in a freaking hellhole, bro. He just named, like, every bad thing that's causing civilization to go down. We're cooked, bro.
Communists have developed mind control drugs and brainwashing techniques, and they're eager to catch up. So they're covertly experimenting with ways to manipulate behavior. U.S. intelligence
as rich as possible and just help the world and humans and stuff, bro. He said everything is neutral now.
Intelligence officials are especially interested in developing a perfect truth drug for interrogating enemies, and they believe LSD might be it. But they're also testing a wide range of ways that psychological manipulation can bend the will of anyone to do whatever the U.S. military wants.
Or what?
They've even enlisted help from the Nazi scientists who experimented on Dachau inmates with hallucinogens and interrogation methods. The military illegally smuggles these war criminals over to get their advice on brainwashing, as part of Operation Paperclip. Over the course of at least 11 years, thousands of Americans are subjected to unethical psychological experiments that include sensory deprivation, hallucinogenic drugs dosed without consent, subliminal messaging, hypnosis, electroshock therapy, and even ice pick lobotomies. And that's just the stuff we know about. When the project becomes public knowledge in the 1970s, the CIA director orders most of the records to be destroyed. The program is codenamed MKUltra. Many of the test subjects are vulnerable populations, like prisoners and hospital inmates, but also students.
You find yourself between the grown-ups
I'm not even
and these hooligans.
Students are prime subjects for these experiments because of their frequent contact with professors who play a big part in MKUltra.
Y'all are some assholes.
Some of the professors know the role they play. Many don't. During the post-war period, the CIA becomes the largest employer of college professors, and the military is by far the biggest source of funding for psychological research. Professors acted as consultants and researchers for military-backed projects. They used their status to encourage their students to participate in experiments, often involving drugs like LSD. Afterwards, they reported back to the government. Harvard becomes heavily involved in Army-sponsored studies. One of the CIA's main men on campus is the superstar psych professor, Henry Murray. Murray is well known for his studies of personality, and since the CIA's beginnings, his theories have influenced how they recruit new agents and how they interrogate suspects. When Murray and young Ted Kaczynski cross paths, Murray is at the end of his career, and he recruits Ted for his final,
I'm so sorry, bro.
They're meant to assess the effects of stress and harsh interrogation on gifted male students. Murray wants to know, what will it take to break an educated, intelligent man? The setup is simple. Ted and 21 other students are asked to write an essay about their most deep-seated beliefs. Then they're told they'll discuss their beliefs with a fellow undergrad. The experiment aims to compare the effects of stress on college men who seem psychologically healthy and well-adjusted, with students who seem alienated, pessimistic, and lacking in identity. Ted is most likely recruited for the second group because he's showing signs of depression. Ted's personal essay stands out as the most pessimistic of them all. It suggests that he was already vulnerable before the abusive test began. He is also the youngest and the poorest in the group. The students are told this exercise is just to study different personalities. In truth, now the real experiment begins. The essays are handed to lawyers trained in manipulation, who are instructed to attack the values expressed in them. The students endure harsh interrogations in brightly lit rooms. They face calculated personal critiques designed to humiliate and erode their sense of self. All the while, electrodes monitor their stress responses. Later, they have to watch these stressful and humiliating moments on video, over and over again, for 3 years.
Dang.
As Murray himself describes it, the tests were designed to be abusive. He's had a lifelong fascination with pain and stress and is known to have a sadistic streak. Plenty of participants...
Why is he famous then? Who made him famous?
Deeply unpleasant, with lasting trauma. But Ted's responses are the most extreme in every category. Murray's team identifies him as the most traumatized of all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yes. Sometimes I just noticed, like, I'm probably being a little selfish. Like, I was talking about, like, he bombed folks because he got made fun of his clothing. But I noticed, like, sometimes in life, things that are small to other people can affect other people more. And that's obvious. It's like common sense, but nobody really take the time to think of that. So him getting made of his clothing could be maybe, I don't know, the equal of someone else getting made fun of for their looks. I don't know. I say that. I don't know. You get what I mean, though, chat.
Got MKUltra. You can read all about it at CIA.gov.
I'm okay. We're okay.
In consequence, many claim the CIA created the Unabomber, but that's an oversimplification. It's not so easy to prove how much effect the
experiment had. Why everybody be blaming stuff on the CIA? Is there any CIA proven theories, bro?
Some psychologists believe the experiments were stressful enough to create anger problems in Ted, or even aggravate latent schizophrenia. But other psychologists evaluate him as undeniably sane. Ted himself dismissed the idea that the tests were anything resembling psychological torture. He was very invested in being seen as psychologically healthy until the bitter end. He's taking great pains to not be painted as damaged or crazy. He wanted his murders to be understood in the context of his beliefs, not his personal history. If people saw his actions as a result of trauma or madness, it would invalidate his ideas. Ideas that formed his last year at Harvard.
Oh, so he did go to Harvard. Yeah, I think I was talking about the right person. I think he's the one who, like, mailed the stuff to everyone's doorstep. Or, yeah, the bombs at people's doorstep. That's crazy.
Ted becomes increasingly disillusioned with the industrial technological system. He comes to believe that technology is slowly destroying humanity and eroding our freedom. He's horrified by widespread psychological suffering and how industrial technology has severely damaged the planet. He's certain that it'll only get worse the more technology develops. So anyone who helps advance technology in any way is the enemy. Scientists, engineers, business people, what Ted calls the technician class. Ted starts having revenge fantasies and becomes obsessed with how society enforces obedience with psychological controls. He daydreams about breaking away from society and living off the grid. Ted graduates Harvard and goes on to
dang,
get
that's
his PhD
really
in math.
accurate. I would say that's really accurate. Yeah, y'all see this, bro? Yeah, that's crazy. That's accurate. Like, he made the exact same thing. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, since like in school systems, that can be a example of what he just said, like how they enforce obedience, even if it's like subconsciously. People don't really think of it, but it's true. And sometimes they can mess with people.
He's
like,
quickly establishing himself.
They can
as
show
a
how
brilliant
bad the
mathematician,
environment around
and is
the
offered a
stuff
tenure
is.
track position at UC Berkeley
Or the school
as their
is.
youngest professor ever. His students don't like him very much, but he's publishing groundbreaking papers on boundary functions. But Ted resigns one day without warning. He tells his family that he's done with teaching math to future engineers who will advance the industrial technological system. And
done with teaching math. Now I'm gonna bomb everyone. That's valid, bro. Good job.
Continue destroying the planet. Ted buys a bit of land near Lincoln, Montana, and builds a cabin with his brother. He's ready to escape the advanced technology that surrounded him at UC Berkeley. He wants to live a simpler life, far away from everyone he's ever known. And then, he starts to build his first bomb.
What was he thinking when he did that? Like, what made him want to bomb people? I know this guy. Like, it's revenge, but I know he probably has bombed everyone besides the people who made fun of him, bro. Like, he probably bombed my mom, your mom, our mom, us, but not the people who actually made fun of him. And I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes that's how it be, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Introducing the
Bro, if I get one more
ad,
ad, bro, oh my lord.
In 1993, the Unabomber strikes twice after a 6-year hiatus. Two prominent researchers, a computer scientist and a geneticist, receive packages the size of a VHS tape. The bombs detonate upon opening. And both professors are badly injured. Shortly after, the New York Times receives a typewritten letter. It claims credit for the bombs and says the public should expect more to come. In 1994 and 1995, the Unabomber succeeds in killing 2 people with his mail bombs, an advertising executive and a forestry lobbyist.
Bro, that's scary. No, like, chat, think about it, bro. It says nowadays FBI will find like him in 3. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, the FBI has not been doing so good. I know they're better from before, but like the statistics and stuff, bro, they're not as good, bro. Like, they're good, but they're not really enforcive. It's kind of sad that he could have been a normal person and had been happy, but sadly decided to follow the path of robbing others' happiness instead, or their life. That is true. That is sad, bro. But imagine, like, you wake up one morning, chat, and then you're like, oh man, I'm gonna stream, or I'm gonna go watch this stream, or I'm gonna play a game. Then you figure out that there's a person sending bombs to people in the mail. I don't know. It probably wouldn't happen no more, because like they have to be specific. Because like only thing they can say is just don't open nothing that has like that doesn't have your address unless it's personally given to you. But like if he's anonymous, I said it right this time. He ain't gonna be able to like put your address on there and send it. And if he does, he's a tryhard and he needs to stop. Like go out, go touch the grass, bro.
More sophisticated.
But I doubt
Bombings
that.
are usually accompanied with demands for money or some kind of action.
Yeah.
What made the Unabomber so
just be
difficult
scary,
to understand and to find is that his bombs never came with any requests. They seem to be built only to cause fear, injury, and death. 17 years after starting his bombing spree, the Unabomber finally makes his demands known. He writes the New York Times again, announces that he will permanently desist from terrorist activities if they publish a 56-page manifesto. The request kicks off a fierce debate within the FBI and the newspaper, to publish or not to publish. The FBI has a clear policy to not negotiate with terrorists, but they also
say, what's a manifesto? Because like, it can mean, I know what manifest mean, but I don't think manifesto is the same thing. That sounds like something like mafia or manifest. A public declaration of policy aimed, especially one issued in an election by. So it's like, I guess a serious demand on, I don't know, a rule change or something like that.
And stop killing people. After all, this is what the bombs were seemingly for, to force people to pay attention to his views. Plus, they still lack leads. If the public reads the manifesto, someone might be able to identify the Unabomber. So the manifesto is published. The FBI decides it should just be the Washington Post, though, because it has fewer readers and the newspaper's stance will be easier to surveil. So they think. Interest in the Unabomber is huge. Newspaper sales hit a record high that day, with lines snaking around the block. Across the country, Americans are eager to finally read what the Unabomber has to say. The manifesto opens with an iconic line.
The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
And though the manifesto is an argument that calls for dismantling industrial society, it's also, unwittingly, a self-portrait. Within its pages, the Unabomber has accidentally unmasked himself.
Dumbass.
David and Ted, though 7 years apart and very different, grew up close and loved each other very much. As adults, they had impassioned philosophical debates
There's a
by
bomb
mail
in a note,
and shared
that's
a lot
evil.
of the same views. David also worried about technology's destructive effect on humanity. He'd also spent some time living off the grid in a self-made cabin. But David wasn't a killer. When the manifesto is published, he hasn't spoken to his brother in a long time. Ted cut him out when David got married and refused to answer any of his letters. David's wife Linda, a philosophy professor, has a funny feeling about Ted, whom she never met. As the bombings stack up and some of the timings coincide with Ted's travels, Linda tells David, "You've got a screwy brother. Maybe he's the Unabomber." David doesn't want to hear it. Linda doesn't know Ted the way
Holy
David
crap. Well, that's a 1 in a million. Like, you have to marry someone who does that stuff, and him being your brother, and on top of that, her even thinking of that. That's like a 1 in 1 billion chance of that happening. Some of this information can't be real, because like that's crazy, bro. That's honestly crazy. Having a brother is a low chance. Having a brother that's a serial killer is a low chance. Having a brother and a wife in that does study in that, like, bro, that's crazy. That does study in that stuff, and
As
then
a kid, Ted used to cry at the thought of animals.
they say
being hurt.
that.
But when the manifesto is finally published, David avoids reading it. He doesn't want to admit the similarities. That, like the Unabomber, Ted is an excellent carpenter, and that he had a lifelong fascination with explosives, and that some of the dates match up perfectly with Ted's travels. David only reads it when Linda insists. His jaw literally drops from the first few lines. The killer, like Ted, also hates technology. As it continues, David recognizes idiosyncratic word choices and logical arguments that Ted uses all the time. There is no escaping the truth. Ted is the Unabomber. So after some moral qualms
That's
about betraying
sad,
his
bro.
brother,
His own
David
brother.
alerts the FBI.
We see you, the comparison shopper. The value seeker who can spot a good deal a mile away.
Wait, how the hell do
We
you
got
get
you,
the
because-
Did FBI have a number you can just call? He better not be lying. What is the FBI number? Dang, you actually can call the FBI. That's crazy. It says FBI still didn't find them, by the way. Dang, it said, could you ever take the life of another? It depends the reason. But honestly, yes, I could. But it depends the reason. It'd be a low chance, though.
They are bound to make me out to be a sickie, and to ascribe to me motives of a sordid, or sick type. Many tame conformist types seem to have a powerful need to depict the enemy of society as sordid, repulsive, or sick.
Lincoln, Montana, April 1996. With the tip from David, the feds are staking out Ted's cabin. The investigation is meant to be conducted quietly, but they're interviewing local townspeople, trying to collect more evidence.
They're
on Ted.
slow. Because,
Right
like,
now,
there's
all
a
they
lot
have
of
is the
cases.
linguistic similarities in the
So, like,
manifesto and old letters from Ted.
And the
that David
FBI
gave
is
the
not
FBI.
a big enough of
Not
a
exactly
corporation,
cold, hard
I'd
proof.
say.
Enough for a search
Like a
warrant,
real big
but
one.
not an arrest. Rumors start to spread around town that Ted Kaczynski, their very own angry hermit, is the Unabomber. The plan is to draw Ted out of his cabin and get inside before he can escape or destroy any evidence. But they don't know if he has it tricked out with explosives. Nobody would be surprised if he did.
Bomber squad? There's no bomb
Ted has
squad?
no idea he's under surveillance.
Wait a minute.
So when someone knocks and says
I don't think a bomb squad, like, I don't think it protects you fully. I think it just try to do it best, and then it diffuses a bomb. Like, he probably had to. Okay, that makes sense why they didn't get the bomb squad. That could make sense. But a bomb the way it detonates, bro, it's like it explode and particles come out. So I don't know if they even have something that can help, like that can have equipment that can not be hurt by a bomb at all. And I don't even know if they had that back then. So I don't know.
Surveyors need to talk. He believes them and opens the door. He wasn't expecting visitors. These days, he's busy with a dirty job. He's in the middle of rasping aluminum blocks to make powder for more bombs. He's covered from head to toe in the dust. He's rail thin because the rabbit hunting was scarce this season. Ted's hair is wild and his clothes are literally rotting off of his body.
Dang.
But what does he care? He's not trying to impress anyone, and he can clean up fast if he needs to blend into society. Too bad for Ted. He'll be photographed in this state. Filthy.
Yeah, that is him, bro. That gotta look like a... Oh, bro, he look like a Yeti, bro. Like, oh my gosh. You would never think this guy, out of all people, know how to create bombs and bomb people. You would think he's a D1 homeless person. It's kind of hypocritical that he hates technology but uses that very technology to make bombs. I don't think he used technology. You can handcraft bombs. But him, it don't look like he can handcraft bombs. Just saying, chat. Just saying. Let me stop talking.
Of a shave. The image will circulate around the globe and will not help Ted's desire to seem sane. When the feds swoop in, they find 40,000 pages of journals and plans, most written in code. The code is more complex than anything the FBI had ever seen, more convoluted than codes the KGB used during the Cold War. But Ted also left the key to the code in the cabin. Without it, the FBI wouldn't be able to decipher the decades of written confessions that definitively tied Ted to the bombings. They also find a bomb under the bed, ready to be mailed to an aerospace company in Dallas. Now the FBI has all the evidence they need.
Dang, so he bombed companies
and take
too.
Ted to prison.
And like I said, why? Like, if you're mailing something, you're mailing it to something. So why is it anonymous? Like, I don't know. I don't even know if you. I don't know, bro.
The confessions are his. In fact, he wrote them partially so that nobody would try to say he was crazy. Ted's family and his defense team attempt to convince the jury and the world at large that he is mentally ill.
Like, bro, look at him. Look. He looks like a homeless person. They was not lying when it said his clothes were riding off him. But, bro, look. He looks like a bomb. He said it was different back then. Okay, that makes sense.
He can to avoid the death penalty, which frustrates him. He tries to fire his lawyers and defend himself. He would rather die than allow his lawyers to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Ted pleads guilty to his crimes and is sentenced to life in prison.
So that's like a narcissist, dude. Like he do want attention, actually.
Behind bars, he never stops writing. He publishes 2 books and keeps up a lively correspondence.
How in the oh, don't cuss, do not cuss. I almost slipped up right there. How in the buck can you publish a book in jail? Like, what? I swear on everything, bro. If I had a prison, bro, I'm not letting these, bro, or a prison of a person who did something that bad, he ain't publishing nothing. Like, I'm putting him in a solitary room, not because he's crazy, because he definitely ain't crazy. He look crazy. He definitely ain't crazy, though. I'm putting him in a solitary room, so he gonna be crazy. He gonna be crazy, and he get in a shower once a week, and I'm feeding him some chum bucket slop.
With a wide array of journalists and
how the hell can you publish a book in jail?
Human connections. He strikes up a friendship with Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber who killed 168 people in 1995.
Weirdo.
Ted and McVeigh are briefly on the same prison block and find they have a lot of views in common before McVeigh is carted off to death row. Ted even finds love for the first time in his life. After a lifetime of struggling,
how are they getting this stuff while he's
never
in
going
prison?
Beyond a few kisses, Ted suddenly has dozens of women writing romantic or salacious letters. But only one captures his heart, a school teacher he calls his lady love. They spend thousands of hours talking by mail or in visiting booths, but they are never able to talk.
People are so freaking weird, bro. Like, he bombed people, and you're sending him love letters. Like, do y'all know You, the episode of You, the last episode of You, bro? Like, when people, hey, that last quote he said hit hard, but people were saying or mailing him stuff, love letters. Even though he was a serial killer, they were mailing him love letters just because he was attractive. And that's like the BP, bro. Like, black pill. Like, it's crazy. Like, this world is crazy, bro. Like, if a model killed people, there'd still be some people saying that they look attractive, or let him out of jail, or let that boy out of jail, bro. Like, oh my gosh, bro, this world is crazy, bro.
He writes classical music for her before she dies of lung cancer.
What you mean?
Later,
that's
Ted
cow.
also develops cancer. When the condition becomes advanced, he dies by suicide in June 2023 at 81 years old.
He died on the month of my birthday. He's gonna convince the lover.
Liberty Mutual customizes.
Wait, am I in one of those Liberty Mutual commercials?
Yes, you are.
Stand in front of the Statue of Liberty.
Yes, you are.
This is not to be a political revolution. Its object will be to overthrow not governments, but the economic and technological basis of the present society.
In the decades since his arrest, Ted Kaczynski continues to fascinate and sometimes inspire.
VSH another stream.
The manifesto's central argument is that technological advancements since the Industrial Revolution have robbed people of their freedom and
Hey, join my Discord and put the links in there.
Responsible for widespread
put some
psychological
VSH
suffering
links
and environmental devastation.
And bro, I need the FNAF VSH links to be long, bro. If they're like 3 minutes, bro, or actually I can like look for them, but like just send me a long VSH.
It's a revolutionary call to dismantle industrial society altogether, and warns that technology will inevitably overpower human autonomy. Many of Kaczynski's observations in the manifesto are true. Some of his predictions are prescient.
I can't have stuff to do. I do it next stream. I'm telling you. Like, if y'all want me to do it next stream, I do it next stream.
Surveillance or sad about environmental destruction. At the time of his capture, Time magazine wrote, "There's a little bit of the Unabomber in most of us." Nowadays, Ted Kaczynski continues to find admirers online, from teens on TikTok, depressed about climate change, half-ironically saluting Uncle Ted, to the extreme right mass murderer, Anders Breivik, who heavily quoted Kaczynski's industrial society in his own manifesto.
See what I'm saying, bro?
But even if most people can find parts of the
they
manifesto
don't even have to be attractive.
Most people are not willing to kill.
So if you go on my YouTube, it should be in the description. Here, so let me type it out.
He knew that most people would be repelled by his crimes, but committed them anyway. Those who find the ideas compelling might want to check out Jacques Ellul, the thinker whose ideas most inspired the manifesto. The philosopher never advocated killing. They also should check out Ted Kaczynski's diaries. They lay bare the personal motivations that drove the Unabomber, beyond the manifesto that was polished for public consumption. Technological society really did seem to anger Ted, but Ted was also very, very angry, in general. In his diary, Ted Kaczynski writes that he was happy to kill innocent civilians. He took pleasure in causing people pain. He killed at least 9 dogs just because they barked too loud. He hated leftists. He hated doctors.
Okay, well, I mean, he didn't say at the beginning. This dude killed people just because their dogs was too loud. Like, dog.
He hated women. He fantasized about killing them just for rejecting him. He fantasized about killing his neighbors just because they annoyed him, including a toddler. He condemned technology as slavery and glorified simpler times that ran on.
What a weirdo.
Kaczynski wasn't even much of an environmentalist. He made fun of them in his diaries. He littered proudly. He poached illegally. He logged unprotected lands. You might get the sense that he only used environmentalism as a post hoc justification for his murders. A cynic who identified ecological concerns as the most acceptable excuse for killing.
I'm either gonna play a game, chat, or react to a VSH tape. Or no, I do it actually next Monday, because my next 3 streams are going to be gaming. I only do reactions on Tuesday. But this is the end of the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, drop a follow, join the stream in Twitch below, and next I'm playing a scary game, or I'm going to do a regular game, I don't know. But right now it's a scary marathon, I'm not going to lie, so I may just do a scary game. Y'all recommend me some games I want me to play, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video. This guy's a weirdo, he's homeless, and he's dead. Nothing wrong, hey, I love homeless people. I want to help them when I get rid. I'm just saying this guy specifically. But yeah, y'all have to go on my y'all can choose the game, but make sure you go on my YouTube and then go on the Discord. But peace. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, bro. Y'all recommend me things to react to. Hope you have a good day.